welcome to the Bitesize Piano Scales and Key Signatures course challenge! So I'm currently away on maternity, having my first baby, so I'm going to be dripping out this course. So I don't want to leave my students of the world stranded, not knowing what to do with themselves. So why not make a course all about scales, because they're so important. I go on about them in almost every single one of my videos. They're important for many reasons. Theory knowledge, finger dexterity, to improvise with ease, to navigate more fluently and instinctively around the piano. So many reasons. So I'm going to do them in order of no key signature, no sharps or flats, 1 sharp, 1 flat, 2 sharps, 2 flats, 3 sharps, 3 flats, etc. I'm going to go down like that throughout the course. If you would like to see these scales written down, I've left a link in the description and the pinned comment of where you can just go and download that. It's just a free PDF if you want to sort of check them off and see them written on the stave if you read sheet music. So we're going to kick the first lesson of this course off with no key signature. So effectively just how to play a scale based on all of the white keys. So we're going to be looking at C major and A minor, and I will of course talk about the theory of the scales as well, so you fully understand the notes that you're playing and why you're playing them. We'll go over how to play them hands separately with the correct finger patterns, and then we'll do some hands together work as well. So how this will work in each episode, we will go over the major scale first of the key signature that we're looking at. I'll go over the theory of what makes the major scale and why it will have a certain amount of sharps and flats, and then we'll go over the relative minor and then how to turn that into the harmonic minor. So basically we'll be looking at 3 scales today. In each episode we'll look at the finger pattern, hands separately, 2 octaves, and then ways that you could play them together. So first of all then, in order to understand what makes a major scale, let's go over the formula. So hopefully you know or are aware what tones and semitones are, or whole steps and half steps. So a whole step is basically 2 notes next to each other that have a note between them. So this is a whole step or a tone. This is a tone. This is a semitone because there's no note between them. So we have a semitone here, a semitone there. These 2 notes are a semitone, 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 etc. Hopefully you get the idea. So in order for a major scale to sound like a major scale, it has to comply with the following rule on the screen there. So tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So it's a really important formula to remember, and it means you could figure out any major scale. So we're going to start from C because this is C major. So this is the reason why C major has no sharps or flats, is because the white keys from C to C already comply with that formula. So the first 2 notes need to be a tone apart. Next 2 notes, tone, semitone, then tone, 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 semitone. So I'm playing them together at the same time. A tone or a semitone describes the distance between 2 notes. So we have tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So we haven't needed to change or alter any of the notes in order for it to comply with that rule. So that's why C major is just all of the white keys and has no sharps or flats, no key signature. So in order to play a scale then, we're going to start with our thumb on C. And if you're not aware, your finger numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is really important to know your finger numbers because I will be referring to the finger pattern. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to swing your thumb under whilst holding that 3 down, the E, and play that with F with your thumb. Reposition your hand, so like pivot round, and then use up the rest of your fingers. So do that again. Swing your thumb under, pivot back round, reposition, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1 octave. So an octave is 2 notes that are the same note but octave and 8 notes apart. It's like an octopus or an octagon. Oct means 8, so like a C to a C. So this would be 2 octaves. That's the first octave, that's the second octave. So eventually we're going to do 2 octaves. So to come back down, after you've gone up, you're going to use up all your fingers, and then you're going to go over with your 3 to the E, and then 2, 1. Let's try that again. So 5 on C, over with your 3, 2, 1. Now let's try it up and down, and then we will look at the left hand. Rock straight back down. So the left hand, we're going to play the exact same notes. We're going to mirror what the right hand has just done. So we're going to descend it first and then ascend. Under on your 3. With your thumb, reposition, use up all your fingers. Make sure you're lifting your other fingers up and you're playing smoothly. Over with your 3, 2, 1. So the aim with scales is to not overlap the notes. So you can see I'm lifting my other fingers up. And this helps you play clearly and eventually lighter and quicker as well. So now we're going to try what's called contrary motion. So we're going to do both hands at the same time, and you're going to start with your thumbs on the same C. This is middle C. And then we're going to play 2, 3. Both hands are going to go under at the same time. Reposition. So again, it's like a mirror. And come back in. Over with your 3s, 2s, 1. So it's called contrary motion because contrary means opposite, so go in opposite direction to each other. We are going to also try in what's called similar motion, so where the hands are moving in the same direction, and then we're going to look at how to play 2 octaves but just hands separately. So you're going to have to start with your little finger on C in your left hand. So we're going to be playing the same notes at the same time, but the finger pattern obviously is not going to be the same. Basically the right hand is going to move first when we ascend. So C's, D's, E's. The right hand moves under. So you got 1 and 2 there. And then the left hand will now move. So you got 3's together at the same time. Let's try that again. Right hand under, reposition, left hand over, and to come back down, the left hand will go under this time, on the 3, 2 and 1, reposition, right hand over, 3's together, we're going to look at how you can play it hands separately, 2 octaves, which of course you're then welcome to try hands together in contrary and similar as well. Obviously it makes it a bit trickier. So in order to do 2 octaves, the finger pattern, the moving fingers, is what you would call 3-4-3. And for this scale, and about a third of scales, both hands have the same finger pattern. So if I demonstrate what I mean, so we'll go back to right hand. 3. And then 4, so that means under 4 on your 4 with your thumb. 3, under on your 3 with your thumb. And then you use up all your fingers. So the 3, 4, 3 ascending is referring to when your thumb goes under on a particular, after a particular finger. So 3, 4, 3 under, and then you use up all your fingers. And that's 2 octaves. And then to come back down, every time you run out of fingers, so when you hit your thumb, you go over with your 3, over with your 4, over with your 3. So the reason why we have this alternating pattern, if it's not already clear, is because we have these smaller and larger sections of the piano, so we need less fingers to cover this smaller section, again, which is dictated by the pattern of the black keys. We need more fingers to cover this ground, less fingers, more fingers. So that's why we only have 3 there. 4, because we need more fingers there for that bit, less fingers for that bit, so we go under on the 3, need more fingers for that section. The finger patterns are really important in scales because it will help you navigate around the piano a lot more instinctively and will naturally do sensible fingers based on what key you're playing around. So it helps develop a more methodical, natural, fluent way of moving around the piano. Now if we try it in the left hand, it's the same finger pattern, so 3, 4, 3. So under with your thumb on 3, under with your thumb on 4, under with your thumb on 3, and use up all your fingers. And then to come back again, every time you run out of fingers, it's over with the 3, over with the 4, over with the 3. So visually, the left hand doesn't work out as visually as the right hand. So we're moving in between this section, sort of in between that section. So some scales are more obvious than others with how they match up with the sections of the piano. So now we're going to look at the relative minor. So to work out the relative minor, so the minor scale that shares the same notes and key signature as the major scale, all that you do is figure out what the 6th note of that major scale is. In this case it's A, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's an A, and that's the starting note, that's the root note of the relative minor, so in this case it's A minor. You're basically going to play the notes of C major, which we know are all the white keys, and you're going to start that from A, using the same finger pattern. So just from starting the scale from a different note gives it a different feel. So obviously minors sound a bit more sort of serious or sad, and majors sound a bit more uplifting and happy. So this is called the natural minor, where it's the exact same notes as the relative major. So that's called the natural minor. So we're going to turn this into the harmonic minor, which is used arguably just as much as the natural minor, if not more so. We're not going to look at the melodic minor. I'm going to do a whole separate video on melodic minors. We're just going to look at the natural and the harmonic. So you do one very simple thing. You sharpen the 7th note of that scale. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th note of A minor is a G. We're going to sharpen that instead. So we're not going to play a G natural anymore. We're going to instead play a G sharp. So it gives now this effect. Some people think that it sounds kind of more Egyptian or like Middle Eastern. So I've spoke about the harmonic minor in so many of my videos. So it's a modified note, it's a modified sound. So now let's have a go at playing A minor with this G sharp. So under on the 3, G sharp. So you're going from F to G sharp, then A. And you'll need to move your hand a bit further up the keys because your 4th finger is playing a black key. Over with your 3. So it's the exact finger pattern we did at the very beginning. Now if we try the left hand, it's up to you whether you want to ascend the left hand first or descend it. So your 2 will play the G sharp this time. Under on the 3. It's up to you whether you want to try playing that in contrary motion or in similar motion. So in contrary motion, the G sharp is not going to appear at the same time in each hand. So it becomes a bit more asymmetrical. But the fingers move at the same time. So asymmetry is really, really good practice for like hand independence. And then similar motion. Over with the 3, G sharp, A. Under, over. And you can use to play 2 octaves, the 3-4-3 finger pattern we looked at with C major. 3, 4, 3, under on the 3, under on the 4, under on the 3. Right hand. So you can have a go at playing the harmonic and the natural minor as well. So it's important to know and understand both. So I hope you enjoyed the very first episode. The next ones are going to be a little bit shorter than this first initial video. So I'll see you in the next lesson. So that's the end of this video. If you would like to leave a request, leave them in the comments section below of this video. I've also left some videos here that I think you might like, so go and check those out as well. I also have a course. Visit Bitesize Piano Course.co.uk and you can enroll and start learning how to read music. I'll see you in the next video.